something that needs to be said that ain't said. When you're starting out with stuff like this, it's a hard road. And discussing this with the owner, which is Dan, this is one of my, what do you want to call those, mercenary missions? In other words, this is a young guy. He's starting out, doesn't have all these tools. He does have a lot of good intuitive. That is one of the things I'm going to say about the owner of this car. But this is kind of like Holly Ann, the pickup truck. Okay, it's a piece of shit to a point, but yet it's too good to throw it away. And these cars are just coming in to be worth money. Dan, I'm coming around. They're gonna, and we got a nice touch of the 1970s, by the way, on this car. We got a Keystone Classic style wheel. That's an American racing wheel, but that's a Keystone Classic. There's the pipe. And then today's project is to fit this floor in, and hopefully our next video will be the trunk floor. And I do advise anybody that does these cars, if you've ever had a rotten trunk and you get the one-piece panel, you're not going to get it in there with the frame rails. You're going to end up cutting the one-piece panel anyway, because I've done that. I've been around. That's why I tell people at my age, I don't look my age, okay? But you can see this car's got a hell of a lot of work, and I've done a couple of these rodeos. And they are a hell of a lot of work, but they're a beautiful car. And Dan and I were just discussing as to where the hell the window drains are actually in this car. That filled up and rotted out. I mean, that is really rotten. Hey, Dan, your car has me. Can you get me on caught here? What the hell?
There you go.
It bit me. His car bit me. I don't. What the hell was I caught on there? That?
Yeah, this little piece of metal right here.
Okay. All right. We had to discipline the car. Kind of like my cat that grabs me when I'm making videos. Okay. That's the other thing is when you're working with tetanus mobiles like I do for a living, be prepared. See, this is something that we're going to have to get maybe some acetate in there. So I'm not going to spray his floor until we have the trunk, and I'm going to talk him into a bottle of... I have the clave acids. I almost said the word. I have clave acid. I can mix that. I can mix a concoction with muriatic to etch that, and then we're just going to have to do what we can do. Preferably, I'm going to get my air stamper in there and then we'll vacuum out whatever rust comes out of there. But anyway, it is a tetanus mobile, and then I was just talking about what I mention in every video to folks. Okay, the transmission. If you can see this, that's why I put light in here in the car. The lever seal's leaking. You know, when you do these cars and you want to paint them and stuff and do nice, that greasy stuff's really got to get done first, okay? Because you don't want to go spraying everywhere you got greasy paw prints and fingerprints, because a lot of it doesn't come off the primers. It kind of stays with it, and it embeds in there, and then the paint starts coming off, or it just looks like shit. So when you have something that's leaking 9 ways to Sunday like that, as you pull it out, and we have a guy locally. Somebody just mentioned on my previous video about transmissions. We do have a guy out here in the valley. The major majority of the mechanics around here, they're very greedy dropping one out. They want $500-600. Sometimes that's in and out. Sometimes that's just out one way, $400 or $500. Okay, I understand owning a garage and a lift. It costs a lot of money, and that's why we're going to put you on the tripod here. I might have to move it. Okay. It's easy to get tetanus from a car like this, okay? But it's what I do. I work with stuff like this. I don't try to get people... if you see a car like this, be prepared for the money pit, and sometimes it's a couple years of a process. But there are certain things that necessitate... You're going to start putting stuff in and start painting stuff. Get the greasy shit over with. Get the engine done. That's why I always tell everybody... Every video I've made in the past, everybody can watch my previous videos. Do that engine and that transmission, because you don't know what you're going to run into. Some of it, you put it back together, and there's lines leaking, and you still have more oil and grease, and it's on the floor. Then the next thing, it's on your clothing, and then it's on the car. Those are things that happen and you can't prevent it. It's just the way this goes. It's not like you have a big shop, okay? A large shop, they have phase one where they have a disassembly area because of that, because the dirt, the grease, the oil gets contained in the disassembly area mainly. But then it goes to that secondary area where that stuff is still to be expected, okay? I don't know how many times I've gotten, say, a used fuel tank for something that really a new fuel tanks used to be astronomical, up to $500, $600, $1,000. Now, do you want to put a fuel tank in and buy a used one and find out you got a leak after you put gas, say 10 gallons of gas and it's leaking all over the garage floor? So that's why professional shops, they have a secondary area. Then you have your third kind of like your third area where you're doing your body work and then you're doing the preparation to get it painted, okay? And then there's that tertiary area where it's kind of the in-between area. Okay, now you've got the car body work. Now it's up, it's back, it's running. The wheels are crooked, something springs a leak. So then you're back to your secondary area where you're not going to contaminate those other areas. So that's the way a professional shop works, okay? And understanding all that. Then the second thing is understanding, estimating your budget, okay? Because everybody has to pay their bills, except for the way I've been getting screwed lately. It's lucky I'm able to afford a cookie. I had to basically scrimp for a pack of cookies the other day. That's how bad things have gotten here where I live. It's just that people are not spending the money with me like they used to, and people want to hire by me having something that I'm either ethnically or sexually different or some kind of weirdo or whatever. You get money from the government as an employer to hire. They don't want to hire straight up shit kickers, I guess, just somebody that can get the fucking job done. And that's why every store you walk in today is like a leper colony. Because I think that requirement to be a leper is what they want to work there. But I just had another horrific experience at Tractor Supply. You tell them what you need, call them on the phone, they don't know what it is. You walk in the store, you don't know where it is, they don't know what it is. I'm walking around the store for 3/4 of an hour. Oh, there it is. So these cars, when you drag something home, you're going to have experiences like that even at the store. Maybe the mechanic or the guy that's helping you with it or working on it is going to send you on one of those, I call them a farce, because you might not particularly understand what it is. Then you have to reinterpret that to somebody that barely or comprehends English at the store, and they don't know what it is. And then you end up, having to pay. And it's not fair. Restoration work, this is not easy work. I'm not going to tell you to go out and get yourself involved in something. These other videos I'm watching, they think, you're going to bring it home, put some brakes on it, maybe fix the muffler, whatever. This old stuff, electrical, half of it doesn't work. The charging system doesn't work. It's leaking something everywhere. Every one of those motors, once you start putting compression back in those motors and try to maybe use it as a daily driver, you're going to find out just how bad it is. It's why I'm trying to talk him into taking the transmission up there, because once you try to start driving that car again, you're really going to disappoint yourself. Because that's why I tell people, as I started out my conversation, I have people that want to bring me those things for me to work on at my place. Okay, then they're all pissed off. It looks like a dollhouse. It has nice paint on it, and then all of a sudden they take it to a garage because the motor went or something, and the car's all banged up, and then they want me to redo their car for free. It's not happening. Okay, I got an itch, and I got to get busy. That's my YouTube for today.